Hi, welcome to Smart Living. I'm Daphne Monroe, your smart shopper. I appreciate you tuning in. Today, I am your guest on the podcast. I want to talk about a movement or I would say a way that I am trying to continue to show this community that I live in ways to save money. And I have a workshop that I have been building up for 2 years and have been working on to really show anybody of any financial stage of life how to save at the grocery store. Some strategies. I've got some great apps. I have some ways of thinking when shopping at the store and certain things that you should and should not be purchasing, and why you actually might be getting a workout at the grocery store too in order to save money. So it's called Grocery Guru, and I have partnered with the City of Phoenix, which I am very grateful for to have this partnership. So the class is taught online through the City of Phoenix Public Library systems, and it is free to anyone. All you have to do is you have to have a library card through the City of Phoenix. Really easy to get. It's absolutely free. You can go to the library on their website, or you can just walk into any Phoenix Public Library and ask for that free library card. Then if you go under calendar, under the library's website, and just type in Grocery Guru, you will see that the class is offered. It is absolutely free to you guys. It's about an hour and a half. As you know, I talk really fast. I move really fast. Now, I slow down talking when I teach, but it's definitely not a slow-paced, boring class. I try my best to keep your attention, and you walk away really with some good, great stuff. And also, I even teach you where you can pick up some free seeds to start an edible garden. So it is really a worthwhile class, and it's my way in this world full of content to still try and do the things that I feel passionate about. And that is, for me, I feel I just generally have a calling to help people save money. I can't help it, even when I'm at the grocery store. So I wanted to do a little podcast on that. So this podcast, the class, Grocery Guru, the first one is going to be taught Sunday, October 19th at 10:30 a.m. So like I said, just go to the Phoenix Public Library, sign up. It's that easy. It's absolutely free, and just log on to your computer. I'm sure they'll give you instructions on how to do that. And hopefully I'll see you this Sunday. And if not, it's once a month, absolutely free, which leads me to my next thing. So I have just really struggled. I'm sure probably every single American has struggled with what's been going on in this world. We're so divided. I have never been somebody who's really been involved in politics, nor, I've paid a little bit of attention because I like to be educated, and I like to know what my rights are as a citizen in this country. But I'll tell you, in the past, I would say 4 or 5 years, I have learned so much about politics, and it really has affected me because I'm disappointed in society in some ways. I'm disappointed that people choose not to take the time to educate themselves and really, make a informed decision instead of just making a decision based on maybe something that they saw without verifying things. And I am somebody that I'm very ethical. I try to be incredibly ethical, and I don't want to sit here and preach and be all all this and all that. But I really do try to thrive to be a good person in this world. And it's not because I believe that the payoff is I'm going to be going to heaven. It's simply because it is who I am. I don't like to be unkind. I don't like not to help people. It bothers me. And so maybe this is why I am doing this podcast on my own time and, helping to build this Grocery Guru program. So with that being said, this leads me to social media. And recently there's been a lot of drama on social media with the bakery, La Patisserie. And I think it was Glamorous, who is an influencer who pretty much kind of bullied La Patisserie because they didn't want to collaborate with them. And La Patisserie was like, we're not interested in collaborating with you. But this collaborator decided to do a review on La Patisserie and did a very negative one. And I guess that's called bullying. And bullying in this society seems to be kind of accepted now, and that's just not cool. So, and that's social media. And I struggle a lot with social media because it is pretty much the only way these days that I can get information out on what it is that I'm doing or wanting to, show you ways to save money. But, I don't even know if I'm getting through on algorithms anymore. But one of the things that I did when I was on television, ABC 15, and, I started in television back in 1999. And I think social media came on the scene in 2008. And I really embraced Facebook. It was a great way for me to connect to my audience. I'm a very social person, and I'm a very transparent person too, but private at times. And with Facebook and everything, it was great. But I also felt like, when people were figuring out a way to monetize, like try and make money, it started to feel kind of icky. And that was one of many reasons why I left working for ABC 15. But, I had a lot of influence, and unfortunately, when I left ABC 15, and I will say this forever, they literally stole my Facebook page. And I'll tell you, that will always be a thorn in my side. That was unfair and unjust. It was wrong that they did that. But I move on with my life because there are other things to do. But I will mention that anytime that I can. Anyway, so I had to rebuild my social media platform, which kind of hurt me because I had a pretty large following. And, I was an influencer before there were influencers, meaning that, and let's talk about the ethics with that. So I was an influencer, but I consider myself an ethical influencer. And I worked for a news organization. I was under a contract, and I was not allowed to accept any payola. And there was like a gratuity of maybe $99, but no company could bribe me to give them coverage on the news station. And I took that role very seriously. And my money came from ABC 15. I got a salary. I negotiated a salary. It was comfortable. I was fine. And then I worked. And I didn't need anyone to give me any extra, props and stuff like that. Now, granted, when we went and shot like food deals of the day and stuff like that, we would eat the food that they would give us. And that's probably that $99 kind of little grace period there with that. But I took that seriously. And that was my struggle with social media. Two things with social media. Number one was, as a personality, there's a line where I still get to have a life. My job is to entertain and inform and give factual information. That was my job. It still is today. And I take it very seriously also. But with social media, there was no, what do you call it? There's no bar, there's no accountability. So now you have individuals like me who have a brand, and I could go to a company and say, hey, I'll give you some coverage on my platform because I have a lot of followers, but you've got to pay me some money. And that's fine. That's totally, ethical in that way, but it's gone a whole nother step. And La Patisserie and Glamorous is a perfect example of why I don't want to be a part of that ickiness. So when and if I post anything on social media, it is not for me to promote something because they're paying me. I won't accept that. If I feel like something is a great deal or a strategy is a great deal, I'm simply going to share it because that's what I do. And I own my own brand. I own my own company. It's called Smart Shopper Daphne. So I'm teaching classes. I will promote that on my social media channels. The class is for free to you. Thank goodness I've partnered with the city of Phoenix, so I'm being compensated for my time. I'm good. I don't need any other type of compensation, and I'm grateful for that. So it's genuine. And I just want to kind of do this podcast because I really worry about society overall. I mean, like, it literally keeps me up at night because it's like it feels like there's nobody in this country, giving accountability to people, and especially with information. And, I've gone on my social media occasionally and talked about, giving examples of when I was a journalist. There's a difference between being a journalist and having a podcast. Now, I've always been, I wouldn't say when I worked for ABC 15, I had to be ethical. If I told you it was a good deal, it's because I did my research. And that still stands to this day. You can ask me for the receipts. I will reveal it all day long. So nobody's paying me any money to say anything. It's only me. So now that I've gone on this rant, I just want to just basically let you guys know that I really appreciate your support in this community and that I genuinely try to give out information to show people how to save money. And I like to have a good time doing it. And one other thing too, to local TV stations, local newspapers, this is a wonderful opportunity because I'm also outraged with how expensive things are. I mean, I am feeling it like crazy. I don't understand why there's not a dedicated segment or individual or organization that is showing our community how to make ends meet. I mean, it is so rough out there. When I talk to my friends who have young kids, the stress in their eyes, I have never seen that before. It makes me uncomfortable, the financial stress that so many Americans have. And honestly, I don't see an end to this, but we have to survive. So I'm going to give you everything that I have when it comes to every skill set that I use when I go to the grocery store. So sign up for that class, Grocery Guru. And I appreciate you tuning in, and please feel free to pipe in. And if you know of any ways to save, I would love to feature you on my Smart Living podcast, which, by the way, is hosted at the Better Business Bureau studio over on Central Phoenix near 12th Street, Missouri. And I appreciate the Better Business Bureau always supporting me and letting me host my podcast here. So to the community in Arizona, as always, thank you for your support. Thank you for believing in me, and thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, I'm Daphne Monroe, your smart shopper. And check out my blog at smartshopperdaphne.com or follow me at smartshopperdaphne.